Welcome to the Husk Guys Podcast.
What's up, Husker Nation? It is a Sunday night. This is a atypical show for the Husk Guys. We wanted to do a rapid reaction here pod. Not even that rapid. It's a 24-hour after reaction.
It's rapid enough.
Yeah, I don't know. We're trying to process some things in real time. We wanted to do some group therapy. Wanted to do some chat through some things. Just a lot going on from that game yesterday. So wanted to hop on today instead of Tuesday to get this thing going. I'm David. I've got my brother here, Andrew here. Andrew, how are we feeling on a Sunday night trying to get into some therapy here for the Huskers?
Yeah, excited for the bye week.
Excited for the bye week.
I've got some positives. I've got some things that, like, honestly, looking back, looking at the numbers, looking at everything, I'm like, all right, it truly was not all bad. But we'll get into it.
Let's start vibes. Let's start. I'm curious because I haven't heard about your game watching experience. You were on a trip.
Yes.
With 6 friends, 0 of them Husker fans, correct?
Pseudo, a lot of moral support going on. I've got a great friend group, and I'm lucky to have them. They are all from all over the country and a lot of different teams. So it was
So is it? I mean,
they're all kind of giving me like the pat on the back, like, oh,
is it?
I'm
but
so
is it
sorry, man? And I'm like, dude,
I've got like I've got a very small like trigger for that of like one person can say one wrong thing, like, gosh, you guys haven't been good in 8 years, and I'll like lose my mind. They're cheering for you? Were they like leaving you alone? You had your kids there, you had your wife there. What was the overall?
There's a little bit of like, man, I just feel bad for this guy. It's like he's stuck in hell, and I could try and throw him a life raft, but I don't know how. And so I'll just stay down here for a while. It's nice and warm.
The Hail Mary, did people go nuts?
Actually, yes, that was actually awesome. And because everybody knows what a Hail Mary is, and everyone was watching, and there was we had a lot of young kids in the house. The screams and stuff that happened then were very loud, most notably from me. And the screams that happened afterward were all the kids that got just terrified from the
scary man. It's a scary man.
What's wrong with this guy? Just running around the couch. It was good. It was good. That was a great moment.
There's some high moments. There's some low moments. I had as you well know, I watched the entire first quarter. My daughter had my 8-year-old daughter had a softball game for the second quarter. I am the head coach, and I could not miss it. I wish I could have. Wish I would have. But let me tell you, I threw an almost perfect game while I was out there. I threw just straight
goes a lot faster that way. Where you just go like, okay, next up.
This was like all the parents are like, "What's he doing?" Like, yeah.
Get him through here. You're up, Nancy. Come on, hurry up.
In the middle, like Olivia's looking at my daughter's looking at me like, "Dad, what are you
just
doing?"
Start going over.
Yeah, just
go overhand.
I'm pitching with the phone in my hand and earphone. I get earphones in, just like, listening to the game while I pitch, just throwing darts, like, get out of here. It's like, here comes the dad, the crazy dad, classic. So that was my experience, which I'm coming off camera here, but we'll get back on here a second. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear me? We'll work through it. So that was my Saturday, but the game itself. So Nebraska loses to Michigan 30-27. Yes. Give me your highest level. Start with some positive vibes before we dive into therapy.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, the as predicted, the positive vibes from the beginning were the pregame atmosphere. I mean, fantastic. Can't beat it. Students selling the place out, or their tickets out hour and a half beforehand, filling up that student section. Like, it starts there. You got Terrence Crawford leading out the tunnel walk. Fantastic. He's fresh off of another title, undefeated, the champ of all champs. I mean, that gives you goosebumps. And they're walking through the alley of the 1995 team, the greatest football team of all time, is sitting there cheering you guys on. Like, they rolled out the red carpet. You had over 30 recruits on campus, including the number 1 offensive tackle.
We probably need to
hope that visit went really well. But
he
I
could
know
have
we
used
lost.
him yesterday. Just throw
He's
a
probably
helmet on the
seeing this
kid.
game and he's like, man, Kennedy Brown is his name, 2027 number one offensive tackle.
I could start.
He's like, I could start, and I'm not even done with high school. And so, but no, I mean the vibes were great and everything. CBS did not do a good enough job of showing that, I will say, beforehand. But we had an all-star cast on, like Gary Danielson and stuff. He does. I think they do a good job with it. And then we get into the first quarter. We're taking the ball, and we've got all the momentum to start the game. I don't think anyone's complaining really about that. The one thing that we see like right away is Michigan is going to make Dylan's life a living hell, and he was off balance and completed a fantastic like off schedule throw. Like it was not the design play. Completes a short kind of dump pass to Lindenmeyer while he's on the run, moving the other direction, and Lindenmeyer scampers down for a huge gain. Things like that were giving me, it was like, like that is not a good showing from the offensive line, but can Raiola hang in there long enough to like make plays like this? That gave me a little bit of hope. We get down no problem inside the 10-yard line. And that's where decision number one came in that everyone is talking about. What'd you think about the 4th and 2?
I thought go for it at the time, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the play call was horrible. I guess especially like relative to like the Harburg touchdown, the last touchdown that Harburg had was a gorgeous, like wide open, ease of walk-in touchdown with nobody around it. That was like, if that's in the bag, why is that? They called an underhand scoop throw to Lindenmeyer up the middle when when our line of scrimmage is just getting blasted. I mean, I get it. Everybody wants those 3, and maybe you take the points right away. But it was more to me like you called that play like a tight end up the middle on a flip pass.
And on that drive, we had 3 runs for 7 or more yards. We had Ja'Cory Barney had a run for 7 yards. That counted. Mekhi Nelson had a run for 11 yards. The first play of the game was Emmett Johnson, and I think it was his longest run of the game.
Yeah.
The first play was 14 yards. So, like, at that time, like, I know the rest of the game, it did not go so well. But you ended up with, let's see, on that drive, 32 rushing yards. Technically,
we finished with 40.
It looked like, but anyway, and then we finished
with 40
in the 40s. I mean, some of that is Raiola taking sacks. So in the college game, that gets factored in. But the running backs, the top 2 running backs in total combined for 85 rushing yards on the day. So we had 40. We had, I mean, we did over 1/3 of our rushing yards from the running backs.
The first series,
basically.
Yeah, I mean that first series had for me.
Anyways, the point is like where you're running the ball well, right? Like at that time in the game, you have Michigan off balance. I think I would have just liked to have seen us, give me a pitch to EJ, put it in Raiola's hands a little bit longer.
Yeah, if
it works, if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, you look stupid. My thought is just, from all of history, I know you shouldn't think like this as a coach, but over the last 10 years, things have not gone well in one possession games. And these little tiny moments have been the predictor. And the second we didn't get that, I just had these like old feelings coming rushing back. And I was like, if you just take those 3, like in a big game, that's a projected 3-point spread anyways, take those points just because you want to get something out of that first drive and be the puncher, not the one that gets counter punched. And it didn't happen. But the Black Shirts come out and then they stop them 3 and out.
I think that drive had a little bit more for me. Like, I guess I was probably less bothered by that than most. Like, I tend to lean into like the aggression. Like, I think if they had gotten that, right? If you get that 4th and 2, you score the touchdown. It's like you're like Holgerson's getting his statue, right? It's like, oh my God, Holgerson's a genius. Like I can't believe it. Like that's amazing. He's so aggressive, right? So I was more concerned after that first drive because it was the old like, our dad, the old Mark Haysbrook of like literally the first snap, and Dad would do the like, oh boy, oh God, like that first snap, like the first snap when they got to the backfield on like literally both the ends were like coming in untouched. I was like, these guys, oh God, like that happened like because that's the exact play that he got to Lindenmeyer was he was able to evade the rush on it, but like those guys both came in untouched on the back end.
Yeah, and before that, like, the play
if they're this fast, like oh boy.
He had two near sacks on that first drive. Yeah.
But they were so fast. They were coming in completely like, there's Mark. He's live.
God.
Instead of the 4th. I mean, it was just like I was like, we are in deep trouble if this is the way that these guys are coming off the ball. That that to me was probably more concerning. The 4th and 2 was like the way the offensive line looked on that first drive, even though we were gaining yards. It was like Dylan is in deep trouble if he can't get rid of the ball within the first like half second of him catching this ball. We're in deep trouble. But to your point, came out and did a 3 and out, come down, drive again. So we've got 2 great drives back to back.
Their punt went for like 20 yards. It was like complete high school stuff. Fun fact, in grade school, we once had a punt that my team had a punt that went -2 yards, and it went about 15 yards forward and took a bad hop just like the Michigan one was and went -2 yards back. That's about what Michigan did. They gave us the ball. Where did that drive start? It was on the we're on like the 29-yard line. Pass complete for Aaron Johnson.
We started on the
37, I think.
37.
37, we get to the 29-yard line on the first play. So you're in field goal range in one play. And that's where it's just like, man, things seem to be working in our favor. Like even though we didn't come up with points on that second drive, an 8-yard pass, a 1-yard run, a 4-yard run. Now you've got a first down, a 1-yard run, 2-yard run. All right, they're starting to stop us. And then that's when you could really tell we're going to struggle. We give up a sack, lose 5 yards, and what happens next but a missed field goal? And who knows, maybe that 5 yards makes a little difference, but that was the first of many.
Yeah, I mean, so you finished like the first quarter was killer because you finished the first quarter down 10 instead of with a field goal plus a field goal. It's at least 10-6. Maybe it's, assuming you don't you miss a field goal plus the downs, like maybe it's 10-6 instead of 10-0. They're going to score regardless. So that hurts.
Right.
Did you see some of the stats that are popping out? This is Sunday night, so I've not had the chance to rewatch the game 3 times like I normally do. But I'm trying to find this pressure rate stat. Oh, here it is. On Rhule ahead, he was pressured 36 times on 48 dropbacks.
36 out of 48.
36 out of 48, of which he was sacked 7 times.
God.
He completed 30 of them, which is unbelievable.
Yeah,
but 30. So 36 out of 48, 75% of the times he dropped back. 75% of his throws, he was
under pressure.
Of which 7 sacks, 1 interception. Yeah. I mean, just absolutely he was sitting duck the entire game.
Like everyone, everybody's the armchair quarterback and stuff here. But that has kind of been what defines him, is he's not as good against the pressure and the blitz. He's trying to be. You can tell he's trying to be. He's trying way too hard to be. He's holding onto the ball. He's taking sacks that he shouldn't. He can't, find people early. There's the ways that I would have wanted us to see on that second and third drive. Things were going fine then, but starting in that second quarter when we did actually finally start to get to some momentum, one adjustment that I would have liked to see us make is start scheduling some quicker passes. Yeah. Start scheduling how about a screen? They bring all the pressure in the world every single play. Drop a shoot Emmett out wide and drop him a some sort of screen, a Ja'Cory Barney bubble screen, like things like that. I think going forward is like, if your O-line stinks that bad,
Yeah. Well, that's
then
the problem was,
like
a
then
lot of
figure it
times
out. And like, if you don't
they're
have
rushing
3 seconds,
three.
if you don't have 3 seconds, then make it a 1 second throw like that. Like, and those were the
I think
things that we seem to struggle with.
I think credit to Michigan. Like you come out of that. I think what is throwing me off the most about this is like we had put Michigan in the loss category before the season started. So like taking a big step back and looking at the macro, right?
Yeah.
Even though I'm still bold and say 10-2, I had put Michigan in the loss. I just did not feel like we were going to match up well with them. I didn't like that they were a power running team. I didn't like that their offensive line was like that. I just, they're coming with new quarterback, all of those things. After watching them get bull rushed by Oklahoma, and the fact like Michigan got obliterated. Well, Oklahoma was 6-6 last year, right? This is not like, so they come in and Oklahoma is able to fix their entire team and bull rush Michigan. So I watched that game and then I come into this one like, all right, well, they're definitely not the Michigan of 2 years ago. They don't have their head coach. They have a ton of injuries across their offensive line as well as their defense. And none of that played out on Saturday. It was like, whoa, this is like, it felt like the 2019 team, except for I think Bryce Underwood's not that good. That was sort of like my hot take coming out of it. I think
he's good. He just throws the ball 700 miles an hour. And it goes off people's faces, and they're like, why wouldn't you just
I think Justice Haynes, their running back, is unbelievable. And I think we had absolutely no answer for him. So I think, honestly, like my big takeaway is like, besides not being able to run the ball and not being able to stop the run, what concerns you have?
Turns out that's about 50% of the game. And for Michigan, it was 60%.
What concerns do you have about the Huskers going into Big Ten play as a team that can't stop the run or rush the ball?
Just most.
Besides not being able to run or stop the run, we should be fine.
But here's the deal though. Like we missed the field goal, then Michigan takes advantage. They go down 10 plays, 46 yards, one of their best drives of the game. And they hit a field goal. But the defense bent, but they didn't totally break. Like, credit to us, we're still down by 3. We come out 3 plays, interception. Michigan comes down, takes advantage, complimentary football, scores a touchdown. So we're down 10-0 after the first quarter. And I think at that point, fans are feeling a little antsy because the next drive, we come out and we go 3 plays, -9 yards.
Yeah, not ideal.
And then we punt. And Archie Wilson, he got busy. He looked great. I think he actually played awesome. He made some, Michigan didn't have really a single punt return. So that was good. But then things can flip on a dime. Michigan comes out, it's that second quarter, and then and we strip them. They're going for it. Lunging forward, they weren't going to make it anyway, but forced the fumble, get the ball close to midfield. And then we come down again, and we make our third trip to, I think we made it about the 20-ish. I don't know if we quite made it inside the red zone, but we made it. No, we did make it into the red zone. We made it to
Michigan 21. Michigan 21. Oh, the 14. Yeah, made it to 14 before the
line. And then again, you get sacked. And this is so that's 2 drives where you have a third down
in the red zone.
In the red zone, that you're potentially. I mean, this is like. I mean, that's got to make Holgorsen go insane. Like he's going to be like, I wanted to get back into coaching, and now I want back out because I don't have a team that can convert crucial third downs, and I don't have tackles on the offensive line.
Yeah, but it's also that's him. That's his job. Like it's his job is to like. All right, this is what you got. These are the players you got. Yeah. Like, draw something up that doesn't require like a 9-step drop for Raiola to stand there and like laissez-faire and get smashed. Like, it's you have a immobile quarterback that needs to get rid of the ball and he doesn't. And so, to your point, find something that works faster. Do something or roll him out. Give him a better chance because he's just sitting down. If you get pressured 36 times, like you're going to get trigger happy or like his mind is probably like moving 1,000,000 miles an hour. And then all of a sudden it's 3rd and long. What are they going to do? Blitz everybody.
Yep.
then
Yeah,
what, right? Like,
and I mean, Raiola to me, he seems locked in. He seems like he's got such a good grip of the offense. But there is like that last element, like for him to get over the hump. Like we know that he struggles a little bit against man. He struggles a little against a little bit against pressure and stuff. But it's those last moments. It's like it's not the between the 20s. It's just like that killer. Like
yeah,
we are scoring. We're inside. The 30-yard line. We are in. Like it is points time, and we just that's two possessions right there where you just end up leaving points on the table. And
it's a weird. I can't figure it out, and I think like Husker fans genuinely can't figure it out too. Like obviously, there's the very dramatic ones who all automatically call for Latif and like we need a backup and put him in.
oh my
But
God,
I don't
yeah.
think it's obviously
Jesus.
not that
Come on,
it's
guys.
not that dramatic, but there is an element of it's odd to me. Like he never watching Bryce Underwood, he throws the ball like an absolute bullet. He throws a rocket, and
Yeah.
Rhule is significantly more accurate. He completed almost 80% of his passes again. I think he's third in the country in completion percentage after 4 games. Like he completes a lot of his passes. He throws very catchable balls. But I think that extra juice that he doesn't have in the red zone of like, right, I'm going to throw a dart and some kind of a seam route or a post route or an out route or something that is just perfect. Like it's usually kind of like this, he like feathers everything. And I think that feathering is what doesn't work it doesn't work in the red zone. And that's what like seems to like be the big miss is everything is so gingerly like thrown as opposed to like just freaking rifle the thing in there and get us a touchdown, which he did on the touchdown. The Barney touchdown was that throw.
Yeah, he's third in the country in completion percentage. He's 102 for 135. I mean, it's a ridiculous stat line. Of the players that are in the top 10 in completion percentage, he's the only one that has over 1,000 yards passing so far. The next highest is CJ Bailey at 14th with NC State, and then the next highest after that is going to be Jaden Maeva at 1223. That's for anybody that has completion percentage over 70%. So, I mean, yeah, he's putting up numbers. He put up numbers again. But these are like those just such crucial moments where like the last thing you want to see is taking yet another sack.
Yeah.
And so
it's his release is slow. It's like the release is too slow. He's not rolling out. It's like it's a combination of like not being set up for success in those moments. And like they clearly watched a lot of film and they're like, all we got to do is just like get, blitz on the.
Yeah, you get somebody home and then like he doesn't step up in the pocket as well as like I would expect somebody of his caliber to. Right. He's got all the throws. Like he had that crazy sidearm throw. I mean, it's just like things we've literally never seen on this campus before are happening. And you love to see that. I just think that like with a little more experience and a little bit more time, he's going to start hitting these passes where you're like, all right, at least he got that throw off. Like he gave your receiver a chance. Right now, there's just those like breakdown moments where you're like, God, we didn't even get a throw off on 2 of those possessions. Like we've got to have something where we at least have a chance to make a play. And, whether it's him holding it too long or not processing fast enough, I don't know. But
I mean, I think there's like an element, the biggest, I don't know, that the concerning thing for this for me was like just getting absolutely mauled on the offensive line. I think that was like, we had concerns coming out of Cincinnati of that Dante the Don guy was like manhandling us up front. We're like, oh man, if a Cincinnati kid can do this, we're probably in trouble in the Big Ten. But like, we didn't know how much in trouble. And then you go and, run up the score on Houston Christian and Akron. But I think the oh my God factor of this of like, like, whoa, like this is not even a good Michigan team. And they are mauling our offensive line and mauling our defensive line. Was that to me was like year 3 Rhule. You want to take that jump and like, why do we look so small? Why are we getting like obliterated in the trenches?
Gatula was like half of his energy expenditure was helping Raiola off of the ground in the first half. Like he was like, I got it. Oh, let me get him back up.
They were coming in like these guys were coming in
2 or 3 pressures in the first half. It was crazy.
Yeah. I mean, we made I was writing down a bunch of stuff of like
Yeah.
The positives
field
all
goal.
across. Yeah.
We're down 10-3. We hold Michigan to a punt. And then we actually look pretty good on the next drive.
Punt,
we come back and
gorgeous touchdown drive.
Tie the game up. Ja'Cory Barney was, God, he had a great game. He also had that punt return for 20 yards again. And so things are actually looking up. And like, despite everybody's qualms, despite everything that you have going on, and you're saying, oh my God, they're killing our O-line. Oh my gosh, we can't open up any holes. Oh my gosh, we missed that field goal. It's 10-10.
Yeah.
You're tied. It's 0-0 basically in the second quarter. Nothing hurt. We're back. We got some momentum. We scored 10 unanswered points there. And the next play, Michigan goes 75 yards. And we had some serious matadors out there on that play. I mean, it was just like, Ole, here he goes, and not untouched, 75 yards, one play. Like, you would have loved to have seen.
Check this out. This was it.
Yeah.
There's so for those who are watching,
go look at Buford, just Matador City.
Buford just going. Let me blow it up for those at home. So here's the snap, Underwood, and then just one miss. Here comes Buford.
He's coming downhill. Break yourself down there, buddy. And
oh my God. And then just off to the races.
We're gone.
Gone. That's bad across the board. That's bad on the linebackers. It's bad on that's bad on linebackers, DNs, across the board. That is absolutely atrocious.
Yeah. Shavers didn't get through to his spot either. Just a breakdown like that is really tough to see. And that gave you that oh Lord moment.
Oh boy.
And then let's talk about the end of the first half here.
Yeah, it's
that was weird. That was complete unmitigated chaos. That was the Husker roller coaster of all roller coasters.
But also one of the biggest coaching malpractice things from Biff Poggi of all time.
Oh, Biff had no idea what was going on. That guy
to not call a timeout with 12 seconds left.
He's like, what am I even doing on the sideline right now? I'm not the coach here. I was just fired from Charlotte.
Yeah, I'm just hanging out. I'm just trying to just give me
a down the coach now.
Just give me an ice cream bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 12 seconds left. They call a timeout, we punt. And they don't.
Sure. Yeah. Michigan decides we are not calling it. They had several timeouts left, I think, too. They could have started calling them in the 30-40 second range. But they did not. So Emmett Johnson, to break it down, Emmett Johnson had a run. It was 2nd and 19. We gave up a sack, shocker, to make it second.
One of 7.
To make it a 2nd and 19 to the Nebraska 49-yard line. Emmett Johnson has a run for 3 yards. That's with 56 seconds left. 56 seconds left in the second quarter. And then we run the ball again, and that's with 13 seconds left. So Michigan let nearly the entire last minute, actually, wind all the way down. And then Matt Rhule turns to Dana Holgorsen and says, no, we're just gonna do something a little crazy. I don't know. Like nothing's working. Just throw it into the end zone. And Dylan just fires up the cannon, and oh my God, it actually worked.
Great.
Beside myself. You have all these negative things happening. You have all these people chirping. Our O-line stinks. And we're tied at half. That's the kind of play that you're like, we could steal this game. We could win this game. The momentum is all yours going into half at home. You couldn't have asked for much more. And Brayola absolutely bombed that thing. It's just.
What was Michigan doing? It was
no idea.
They, no idea. If you watch the coverage all the way down to when he goes up and catches it, they don't know what they're doing. Again, a Biff Poggi thing. They clearly haven't
made a play. Ja'Cory, the thing that everybody loves.
The tiniest guy on the field goes up and makes a play.
he's just an aggressor, and like he plays complete reckless abandon. And I mean, it worked. It was awesome. That was absolutely the best moment of the entire day because it was so unexpected, but so awesome. And we're again, this is like what if you want a quarter that drove me absolutely nuts, like the third quarter almost killed me. And
Yeah.
God, I don't know. I don't even know where to start with this, but we come out.
Well, I think, yeah. So we go into half tied for one, right? And so you go into half
Yes,
tied,
that's
like
what I'm saying. Like it's
you're
17 all.
you're feeling pretty good, and then you come out and
Yes,
shut them down.
you've got
Punt.
tweaks to make, but it's 17 all.
It's 17 all. I would agree. Like, so Biff Bogey came out and he's like, yeah, we were beating. What did he say? I don't know. He basically said we were crushing them, which
I know, and that's the thing. I know that they were,
like
but the
they
score
know
was
they're crushing
tied.
us. We know they're crushing us. Everybody knows they're crushing us, but it's 17-17. And so like,
Right.
no matter how you're looking at it, what did he say? He said physically we're beating the snot out of them, which I agree with. Like, I think everybody watching, every reaction that I've read, every reaction I've seen is like Michigan was far superior on the offensive defensive line. They were absolutely smashing us. They were very clear, like it felt like they were up by 17, but they weren't. And that was like
a tie game.
That to me is the craziest part of all of it is like, this is clearly a superior team. Like, we're clearly not up to par on the trenches in any of these capacity, but like we could still, this is the recipe for an upset that happens all across the country every single day for every single team in America, except for Nebraska, of like, Purdue has done it. Appalachian State has done it. Tulane has done it.
Where you're like, wow, this team is really hanging around. They're really hanging around.
Yeah, this team is hanging around. And like, let's just wait for Michigan to screw up. Let's wait for Michigan to screw up. And they kept doing it. They punted on the first drive. Like they didn't score. They but then we go 3 and out and punt. And like they kicked a field goal, but like, who cares? It's a field goal. And then we go 3 and out again and are just, I can't do anything. We ran 6 plays in the third quarter, 6 total plays for -1 yards. So in that span, they're pulling away by 10 and you're feeling like this is off to the races. Like at that point, at the end of the third, I'm like, this is like, I cannot believe how far superior Michigan is, but it was still only 10, even though we were
like, not to be actually, but the drive that is listed as a fourth quarter drive, it ended in the fourth quarter. It started in the third quarter. And this is the drive where Michigan ends up getting the taunting penalty. They had held us to a third straight 3 and out at that point. We had a pass to Mekhi Nelson for 4 yards. We had an incompletion, and then we had a 3-yard pass to Lindenmeyer. And then Michigan gets a 15-yard penalty, and that's with 4 minutes left in the third quarter. So they had held us, if you're tracking that, to a couple of yards on 9 plays. And then they get a taunting penalty. And then so that sparked something, because then we go 6-yard run, 18-yard pass, 9-yard pass, 5-yard pass, 5-yard pass, 8-yard run, 3-yard pass. Oh, sack, classic. And then we go sack, and then we try and hit an Isaiah Hunter in the end zone, and he steps out of bounds in our stupidly painted end zone.
Yeah, let's talk about this.
He was completely disoriented and had vertigo.
Well, I mean, what are we doing? So here's the play. So he
also
goes like,
you can't step out there. It doesn't matter. You can't step.
I watched this like 80 times because I was like trying to figure out if this is the play for those who are watching live. Like, this is the actual play itself that we've got pulled up here. But I was trying to figure out, like, I've watched this like 20 times. I was like, did he stumble? Did he get pushed out? Did he get stepped out? And like, if you watch this, like right here, so Michigan guy falls down and doesn't do anything. He's wide open. Look how wide open he is, like right now. Michigan guy is down, completely down, and he's got 4 yards between him and the end zone. And he has 4 yards between him and the end zone.
Like his head turned, and he just didn't.
And he just like, look at him. He just like kind of keeps going. Like, where's he going? What's he doing?
He is currently on trajectory to go into the the Californians for Nebraska fan.
He's going into the tunnel.
He's about to walk into a concession stand. If he kept
he's
on
about
that
to go
angle,
into the tunnel. Like, where are you? Like,
he's gonna go.
There's
do the
no
tunnel
one.
Walk in reverse.
Look at there's no one. There's no one over here. There's no one on the right side. There's no one in front of him. There's no one behind him. There's nothing. So the end zone drives me nuts because who on earth painted this thing? Like, why is there red over here and like red on the other side? Like, they're brand new. They just painted them this way. Like, who is the genius who's like, I got it, red everywhere? just have red everywhere. So like,
I don't know.
idiotic
Just
that he's
fire him.
doing this. I just need someone to be fired so I can feel better about this. Whoever did this, I mean, just make it white. Like, what are we doing? Make it black or something. Regardless, like, where is he going? He has 2 feet outside. I mean, it's not like it was like he got a toe on it. Like,
No.
he is 2 feet standing. Like, what is he thinking right now? Like, he's just like, I have
He's
2
like,
feet out.
I'm about to be a hero is what he's thinking.
He's in the stance.
Yeah, he went out. He definitely went out.
So now, like right now,
no
he's like,
idea
I'm
what
gonna
he
catch this. I'm gonna catch this. I'm gonna win this. And then the fact that he just like went and caught it and stood up and
Yep.
started celebrating, like what?
These are the things. So when you go
What?
back and look at these, at all of these moments, you're like, there's so many little things that, like, Rhule did so well avoid. He was on a full sprint to the sideline and rifled that, and it was a perfect throw like that. And that's the kind of thing where there's just so many small things that kept adding up. The missed field goal, but also, yeah, we gave up a sack, and then that's what kind of led to this in the first place. The O-line play, the like missing holes, the missing tackles, the like completely poor run fits. There's just all these like little things that would end up leading to like a complete colossal breakdown. And it was not like in between those little things, we manned up pretty well. Like Michigan had something like they averaged less than 3 yards per rush on like 15 to 18 of their rushes. But 7 of their rushes went for a combined over 200 yards.
Yeah, I mean,
They had 7 rushes where it was just like, oh my God. Like,
well, the issue with those rushes too is they're like the yards before contact was like 8 yards.
Yeah.
It was like we
so
didn't
much
get
of
a
it just
hand on
came
them.
down to like these one-on-one battles where like sometimes we're winning, but when we lost, it was just like a complete like, oh my goodness. And this was a battle where it's like, if you're gonna be that open, finish the job, win the battle, take a touchdown here, and you're looking at a 3-point game in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
Instead, it's a 7-point game. We'll take it. We settle for a field goal, and then Michigan punts.
Punt 3 and out.
We have the ball back. We have the ball back to get to be tied in the fourth quarter. We get the ball back with 14 minutes left.
14 minutes left, down by 1. 1-score game.
Down by 7 points.
Yeah,
and
down
we
by
go
1 score.
3
1-score
plays.
game.
Guess what happened? We got a minus 2-yard run for our. We gave up 9 tackles for loss on the day. 9 tackles for loss.
9 tackles for loss and 7 sacks.
And
Think
7
about that.
sacks. Yeah. And you had an 8th where Dylan's arm got hit. So basically an 8th sack.
And then
like
that was basically an 8th sack.
So much behind the line of scrimmage. So we went minus 2-yard run, incompletion, and then sack at 13 minutes and 13 seconds left. We are sacked again, and then we punt. So you had the ball to score there.
So we had,
and that is when Michigan began their death march.
And but before that, so I guess like the overall
7 yards.
The concern of all of it is, again, this is like the rinse and repeat Groundhog's Day of Nebraska football for the last 10 years of like, how come you can't beat why can't you guys ever beat a ranked team? Well, when you have 3 out of 4 3-and-outs, that would have been 4 out of 4 3-and-outs if not for a taunting penalty in the second half in a 1-score game. Like, wow, you can't win a game like that if you're just going to go 3-and-out, 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 3-and-out like that. That before the death march was like, they gave us like, they punted. Michigan punted too. Michigan with a punt, field goal, punt. Like Michigan punted twice. Yeah. They weren't exactly putting they very easily could have been up by 3 touchdowns. Easily could have been up by 3 touchdowns, and they didn't, and we stopped them. And then the death march of like, that's how you win a game. Like their 16-play, 77-yard drive was an absolute, like, I was so jealous watching it. I was frustrated because we couldn't tackle anybody. We couldn't do anything. But it's like, that's what you do. That is the drive that if we had done that, if we had done the 16-play, 77-yard death march and tied the game, they would have given up. And instead they were just like, oh, wait, all we have to do is just run the ball up the middle. Great.
The craziest,
and they
did. The single, like, probably the single most frustrating stat that I looked into of the game for me. Michigan was 1 for 9 on 3rd down before that drive.
Oh, is that right?
They
Because
ended the game.
at the end of the game,
They ended the game
with,
4. They ended the game 4 for 12.
and they got all three of them on that.
They had 3 first downs, all on rushes on that drive.
Well,
that,
one of them,
that was
this one.
backbreaking. A third and 10 where they just did an outside run. We missed another tackle, and that was it.
One of them was this play, which, look, maybe the timer is off on the television versus the game itself. 3rd and 9. I was fully convinced they were on like the 45-yard line. I was fully convinced this was the one we were going to make the stop on.
Sure.
The clock runs out. 3rd and 9. Clock runs out, and literally is like out. Look at he hasn't even clapped his hands yet. 0-0,
right.
1, 2. Like 2 seconds after he snaps it, tosses it right. 9-yard gain, 3 broken tackles. Like that to me was the most backbreaking of it all. It was like that went from a 5-yard penalty and a 3rd and 14 situation to another first down. And I was like, that one broke me. I was screaming at the TV, just like,
yeah, because
the clock ran out. The clock ran out.
Things that went wrong for us that like we didn't need the refs just snoozing.
Well, it just was. But then I mean the play that followed once they snapped it, it was like missed tackle, and like so you can only blame the refs to an extent when then you're just like we can't tackle anyone. Like they just imposed their will on us.
Yeah, they ended up with a 16-yard gain on that.
Yeah, so a 16-yard gain, but it was we had them I think who was it on like the left side? Had him.
Oh, I think
broken tackle, stiff arm, broken tackle, stiff arm. Yeah, I mean just brutal. That one hurt me. That one hurt me very deep in my soul. I had a feeling we might put together a good drive, which we then did, but it kind of felt like the old Adrian Martinez empty calorie drives from when he was terrible with the game on the line, and then all of a sudden we were down 10, and it was like he would turn into a Heisman winner again, and you're like, oh my God, that was amazing! Like, how did he do that? That was so incredible. He's back to being amazing, and he'd have 90 yards, and he'd go 9 for 9 or something, and then the game would end, and you're like, wow, Adrian played really well. You're like, well, kind of, sort of. Like he didn't really play well until we were losing by
75 bonus yards, and another touchdown happened. Yeah. And I was wrong. Yeah, actually 2 of them were passing. The third one, the one that killed me. So you were already dead at this point, but the one that killed me was Justice Haynes runs for 19 yards on 3rd and 10. 3rd and 10.
The draw. It was just a draw to the left side to set up a field goal.
19 yards, no problem, easy. And then Underwood ran for another 12 yards after that. I mean, you just get over and over and over. So their last. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 runs in a row, starting at 8.5 minutes. And that ends the possession at 4 minutes and 28 seconds. And then they hit a field goal. And that puts you up 10, and that effectively ends up nearly icing the game. Rhule looked fantastic. If you want one thing that gives me hope, I know the Adrian Martinez comparison. I see what you're saying there, but you do need somebody that is going to take the reins and be like, we need to go score, and we need to go score fast. And the offense was completely on target. 6-yard pass, incomplete. 10-yard pass, incomplete. 21-yard pass, 6-yard pass. They end up getting a penalty, 21-yard pass down to Barney, down to the 3, and then the next play you score. He scored in about 2 minutes.
That was also the targeting call was insane on that one. It was I don't even understand what targeting is anymore. If that wasn't targeting, I guess you just launched with your crown of your helmet and almost killed Barney.
I was actually looking at what. I was looking at what game that guy was going to be suspended for next. I'd already moved on. I was like, well, it's obviously he just launched his head into this guy's brain. That's going to be a problem for him. He's clearly out. And then not only was it not targeting, it wasn't even a penalty. And that guy got just Hillman got to keep playing, I guess. So
that was hang on. Here, let's watch it real time here. Add to stage. Yeah. So I mean, he's going down there and just
Barney,
somehow
bam! I just
understandable.
got smashed.
Amazing catch by Barney.
Throw a flag, review it, pull the flag away, and just ended up with a whole lot of nothing from that. So, fantastic sidearm throw from Dylan. Like again, he's off schedule. He's like just got a hand in his face, but he puts it on the money to Barney. Like things like that should give us hope. So that's where we get back into, okay, Nebraska, let's pull ourselves together here. What gave you hope from this game?
Are you asking me or telling me?
I am asking you, but I have an answer.
I typed this up right after the game, like fresh off the game. I was like, all right, the moral victory camp, but like the fact that we finished it, I think that's a very good Michigan team. I think everybody was thrown off by the fact that they were 23rd or whatever. So I think like battling a tough team, losing by 3, almost covering is like, in the scheme of things, we didn't lose by 21. We never quit. I think holding Bryce Underwood to 100 yards, to me, it was a win in that regard. Like he had 105 yards, and then obviously like they ran all over us. It doesn't really matter. Like maybe they just didn't feel like they needed to, but you didn't get torched by the phenom coming in. I think the 4 of 12 on third downs, like you mentioned, which I didn't actually realize was 1. So what's that mean? That was 1 of 9 going into that. The Hail Mary sweep, I thought Ja'Cory Barney had 6 catches, 120 yards, 2 touchdowns. Was awesome. Rayola's 30 of 41 for 308 yards. He's the first 300-yard passer in the last 5 years against Michigan. So I don't forget what the stat is. I should look that up.
Since 2021.
2021. Yeah, it's 5 years, right? 4 seasons. 4 seasons, nobody's ever thrown for 300 yards on Michigan, and he did while getting pressured 36 times and getting sacked 7 times to also throw for 308 and 3 touchdowns. Impressive game. We also won time of possession, 33-26. Granted, that's probably because they either did a 3 and out or they had a 75-yard touchdown on every play. And then the last one, I was pretty pumped for Harburg. I feel like, and I tweeted this a few times, like for that kid to go from like the starting quarterback in Nebraska, just like, oh yeah, cool, we got a new quarterback, I'll play tight end. For him to catch a touchdown pass, I thought was pretty cool. So those are my positive vibes that I was like, all right, those are all the good things, and then I have a whole host of bad.
Okay, I like that. I think there's things that like some trends continued. Nebraska is currently 9th in the country in punt return yards. I mean, we never thought that would really be the case. But Barney has shown in big moments he wants to get the ball. He should have never caught the ball within the 5-yard line. That was a different, learning moments. I think that that's bright spot number 1 for me is like special teams. Yeah, we missed a field goal. It's not great, but they didn't have any big punt returns. They didn't have any big kick returns. Like, I know we lost by 3, but I don't think I'd pin this on like the special teams. And that's great because we were losing games last year all the time. Number 2 would be, Rayola is a dude. You have a quarterback that if you buy him time, somehow, some way, that has to happen. We have to buy him time. He is going to die back there if we have him getting helped up off the mat every single passing down. But if we can find that, and if we can find that pass pro, and if maybe Pritchett, this O lineman that you paid $1 million to, starts like earning his time a little bit more, maybe that's just one of your answers, is that you do have a left tackle on the team that can block other D1 defensive linemen. Number 3 is I still am a believer in our receivers. Barney was a dude again. Hunter, he can go up and get it. He didn't have as big of a game, but he's very reliable. And then we've got some tight ends that can move it. And including against a Michigan defense that is very, very good. And then the last one would just be, I think this might be the best rushing team that we play all year other than Penn State. Penn State's probably going to be a loss. But if I'm looking at like the rest of the schedule and I'm saying, okay, Michigan, they're not elite this year. They're good. I think they're an 8 or 9 win team for sure. They're better than us, but we found a way to hang in there. Now we know that that's our glaring weakness. We have a bye week to say, all right, the rest of the season, something's got to change. We know that we know that it has to be the run defense. Like, our pass defense is fine. We held Underwood to about 55% completion rate.
Yep.
105 yards. So, like, there are games like this that I think they expose your weaknesses, but then they give you a little bit of like, all right, this is what needs to be fixed. This is what we have going for us. We know that we can put up 300 yards passing on a solid Michigan defense. Now we just need to get points on these long drives, and we have to figure out how the hey these guys ran ripshot over you.
Well, I think that's the moving forward point of all of this is it's like the time will tell. Are we like the Oklahoma Michigan game has probably thrown me for the biggest loop, because if Michigan had beaten them and run over them and it was like, oh yeah, like this is obviously like a historically good Michigan team. Like the Michigan teams of old beat us 45-7, 38-7. Like they were smashing us. This team did not, but they still have championship level offensive and defensive linemen that they've been recruiting for the last 5 years, and we have not been. And that was extremely evident. The question moving forward to me becomes, even with all of the gaps and issues that we have, can we overcome those enough to beat Michigan State and Maryland and Minnesota? Like that to me is going to be the biggest thing. Like Michigan doesn't make mistakes. They only had one fumble. Like, does Michigan State make more? Does Maryland have some issue? Like Maryland just beat the tar out of Wisconsin. That game is now concerning. But I guess the question becomes, I don't think Michigan State or Maryland, maybe Minnesota are going to maul us the way that Michigan did. But it doesn't mean we struggle to stop the run. That's going to be hard to play all season. It's just a matter of like, can our 300-yard performance in the passing game, and can Ja'Cory Barney and can Rayola overcome the fact that we can't stop anybody?
Right. We've got some things to build on. I mean, they averaged 4.6 yards per pass. And like that typically shouldn't beat you, but when you give up 290 yards rushing, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
I just don't know that it's going to be that big of a discrepancy against Michigan State and Maryland and maybe Minnesota. They've got a solid back, but like definitely not Northwestern. USC is going to be a big problem. UCLA shouldn't be as big of a problem.
See, but I oddly feel like maybe we match up better against USC because so we've given up the last 4 games. I'm gonna have to look this up. We gave up how many passing yards to Sorsby? 69 passing yards to Sorsby.
Yeah,
like less than 100 to Akron, less than 100 to Houston Christian, and then Underwood at 105. Like that's 4 straight games.
That's what I'm 100 passing yards. You know where your weakness lies right now.
So it's 4 straight games. Like so, like if USC's thing is passing, like theoretically we line up better with them than like Minnesota. Like Iowa can't pass, but are they just going to run it down our throats? Like that's and Minnesota can't pass. Like, are they going to run it down our throats? Like Michigan State's a little bit of both. Like that'll be the biggest question moving forward for all these guys.
So if you're looking at our schedule, then going forward, one at a time. Not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but it's a bye week. We don't have anything else to prepare for right now other than the rest of the season. So I think it's perfect timing on the bye week. Whoever did the scheduling, great job. Michigan State, win, lose.
Well, so Michigan State just I'll have to watch the game because they were on at freaking 11 at night last night. So I did not watch it. But they played USC and it was a 1-score game. Offense. It was a 1-score game late into the 4th quarter, and then USC pulled away and won 45-31. So that's concerning. But I did watch the Michigan State Boston College game, and I wasn't that impressed with Michigan State during that game. Like Aiden Childs is very good.
They'll put up over 40 points.
They have a really good offense. They played really well against USC.
The defense, I think, is very poopy.
So I would categorize them as probably more nervous. I still think we win. Like I think we win it. But I'm significantly more nervous now than I was 48 hours ago. Yeah.
These next 2-3 games are absolutely crucial. So what about Maryland? Because now Maryland's beating the crud out of Wisconsin.
I don't know how rock bottom Wisconsin is.
Very
Like
rock
what?
bottom.
Like what are they?
Answer
What are they?
the bottom.
I mean, what are they doing up there? They're like they. I mean, they booed
Trying
Fickle
to
off the
fire
field.
Pickle sooner rather than later.
They boot like I think that the macro level positive vibes of this is like your year 3 of Rhule, and they are we're not booing them off the field. We're playing tight games. Like we're not doing like Fickle is the exact same coaching hire or coaching year as Rhule. We wanted Fickle. He ended up going to Wisconsin, and he's going to be done. I don't see him surviving the season. So
No.
like,
Not now. No, not after they get spanked by Maryland. I mean,
they got
but
crushed
that
by
game,
Maryland.
But like, if you believe that Wisconsin has any semblance of dignity, then like that looks like a little bit more of a formidable team with Maryland, and they've got Malik Washington, I think his name is. They're cutting true freshman quarterback. So yeah, 4-star. He's a stud, and they're looking all right so far. Then you got Minnesota. You feel like that one's flipped at all for you?
Well, I haven't I've been so focused on Michigan this whole time that I haven't even we will find out more about Minnesota. Minnesota plays Rutgers, and they play Ohio State, then they play Purdue, then they play us. Like in 3 weeks, we'll have way better idea. They just lost to Cal. So I don't know. You lose to Cal, like how?
And Cal got spanked by San Diego State yesterday.
Yeah, so they lost to Cal. We'll see how they do against Rutgers and Minnesota or Ohio State and Purdue. So I think we'll learn more about them at that point. Like I'm definitely more nervous for Michigan State and Maryland. I don't like seeing teams that know how to win or play games, and you know, I'd much prefer them show up 1-4. The way like UCLA is probably the only one UCLA is the only guaranteed win in my eyes. The rest of the schedule.
And Northwestern, we should be all right.
Yeah, Northwestern too. But yeah, they always play us tight. But UCLA is like their coach is quitting, their quarterback's about to quit, Nico's about to transfer. Like all their players, like that's a true dumpster fire. Northwestern will play us tough. That should be good. So that gets us to 5. But yeah, this slate, Michigan State, Maryland, Minnesota, Northwestern, like you got to win 3 of those at the least, probably 4, because heading into the USC, UCLA, Penn State, Iowa stretch
that's tough.
We are not good in November.
Right. Yeah, but this is the year like things need to change, and I think that they will. Like I saw enough positives that I would say, if I'm putting that Nebraska team up plus a bye week, a little bit of rest, a little bit of, clear the heads, a little bit of time to get ready for Michigan State, I think I actually flipped my prediction. But barely. I actually said before the season we lose to Michigan State. I think Aiden Childs can make a lot of plays. I think it's going to be a really close game, but I actually think that looking at their defense and what we're suited for, we're not suited right now to beat teams with elite defenses like Michigan has, and we're not suited to beat teams that have an incredible power rushing team like Michigan has. Like that is a nightmare matchup. You couldn't design a worse matchup for us. But we could beat a team that has a good pass offense and not a good rushing offense. Like that's Michigan State. So I like that. I like our chances there. Maryland, I'm more scared by. I'm just going to take Maryland to cover in that one. I don't know if we pull that off, but 1 for 2 there maybe could be a problem. Minnesota, the fact that they lost to Cal, and Cal that just lost 34-0 to San Diego State makes me say I think Minnesota's struggling a little bit there. So I feel actually more comfortable there. Northwestern, I feel comfortable. USC, I do not feel comfortable. I've got that one now as a loss. And it is an upset. No, I had that one as a loss. For keeping it as a loss, UCLA is a win. Penn State is a loss. Iowa is a win. I think I only flipped 1 game so far. And it's either Michigan State or Maryland. That puts it as 8-4 instead of 9-3. Just because I think that the weaknesses that we saw and the nightmares that we had before the season was hey, maybe Riley Van Poppel's going to be good. Hey, maybe Elijah Judy's going to be good. And it turns out they're fine. They are not what we had last year, and that is exposing the entire defense.
That to me is
just scares me.
To me, it's that we said it after the Cincinnati game, and it's it's more a rant than anything else of why don't we have, we've known Ty Robinson and Nash were leaving since you got to campus.
Yep.
Like how did
Well,
you
I mean,
not?
like, to be
How did
fair,
you
like,
not?
RVP and Judy are both, like, 4-star players, like, they should develop well. They're just
Yeah,
some people are, I don't know,
I don't
slower
know.
uptake than
But
others.
I mean, did Waneri play?
Yeah, he did.
I
I
mean,
still have
where was
super high
he?
hopes from him, but he needs to hit higher gear because Underwood
Like
was just not nearly in there
McCullough was the
enough.
only guy to me that popped like the whole game on defense. Where I was like, that guy
Yeah.
can play. Like he's a great player.
Yes.
Waneri didn't do much, and I mean, I don't know. It's like he's kind of like a skinny Randy Gregory that doesn't quite like stop the run and also doesn't sack the quarterback. You're like, all right, well, pick your lane.
He's
Which
got to
are
come.
you?
He's got to come through. He's got to develop and stuff.
I guess like that to me is like the hope is I guess I'm hoping that Michigan like runs the table. Right? Like I'm hoping this Michigan
Sure.
team like and we come back and look at this game and like they just start blowing teams out. Like I'm looking at who's the rest of their schedule. I mean, they're about to go play.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
they'll
guess
play
that's all
Wisconsin. They'll
like
crush
that's all the
Wisconsin.
moral victory stuff, though. I just think this game, it goes one of two ways. It either just breaks a team's confidence, or it becomes that game where you're like, you know what?
We're sick
We've
of doing
got
it.
2 weeks before Michigan State, and we know we suck at stopping the run. That is our focus on defense. All right, we couldn't run the ball when we needed to run the ball. We couldn't do it against Akron and inside the 5. We couldn't do that against HCU like 1 or 2 times. So when we didn't score, it was because we just didn't have those like short yardage situations and either the right play call or the right execution. And it happened again against Michigan. And that's your focus on offense. Like we now, I think, are narrowing from like, this could be a problem, this could be a problem, this could be a problem, this could be, to like, we've got like some glaring problems, but they're fixable, I think. And I guess that's my hope going to it against a team like Michigan State is that you are like, all right, 2 more weeks of basically prepping and practicing for a way less talented Michigan State team. Like, you got to win that game.
I wasn't going the moral victory. I was more going the like, hopefully Michigan's good and they aren't terrible. Like if we just got like absolutely mauled by a 6-6 team,
that's very depressing.
Then we're like big trouble. But if they're like an 11-1 or 10-2 team that like actually plays really well, I guess what I was getting at was like maybe we go to Michigan State and we actually like it's not as much of a mauling because where we actually are suited up better for this stretch of like Michigan State plus Maryland type games. That to me is more so like, all right, maybe Michigan's actually in a tier that we don't belong in. Fine. But the tier that we do belong in, we should still go 9-3 in. Because the only tier we don't belong in is Penn State, Michigan, and USC. Besides that, like
Oregon.
Of the teams we play.
Oh, yeah. Right, sure. Well, yeah. I think that if you're using this as a quote unquote measuring stick game, I think we need to pick our measuring stick games better.
We're nowhere close. Well, if it's the measuring stick game,
we're not on that. We're not on that level, but like maybe a better measuring stick is like, okay, if you come out and beat Michigan State by 2 touchdowns, like all right. Now we're finding our place in the Big Ten a little bit. You keep it close, maybe even sneak out a win against USC. Like, oh yeah, now we're definitely talking. But it's those wins like these next 3 games. I think a good team goes 3-0, and we don't really think twice about it. But that's where I'm like, does this game against Michigan become this new like, everybody knows how to beat us now? Or does it become everyone thought they knew how to beat us, but we got better as the year went on. And so that's the hope that I'm taking going forward, I guess. And I think that's why I'm like not wavering too far from my predictions. Pretty much everyone predicted a loss against them anyways to start the year until we looked good against the Houston baptisms or whatever. And when you do that, you start to get this kind of false confidence, I guess. And we're not on their level yet, but we absolutely can be. And you now know exactly how to get there. It's the trenches. Like, good Lord, it was a mauling. but you know how to fix it.
Let's finish on some vibes. Finish on positive vibes. I think I'm going to finish on that of like, I think you take Barney being hard, the confidence coming from a Jacory Barney's game. I thought Dane Key was like okay game. Like it'd be great if he kind of lived back up, but like Rhule played well. Barney is, he can do it all in so many different ways, catching punts plus passes. Hunter, if he can figure out where the end zone is, can those guys alone take down Michigan State, Minnesota, and Maryland? I think they can. And I think the defense can do enough when Michigan State, Maryland, Minnesota don't have a Justice Haynes that can just run all over us. So like I'm going to lean on that, and like I'm significantly more nervous than I was 48 hours ago, but I still think this team is good. This team can't score. This team can play with anybody clearly, and I don't know. I'm leaning on that.
Okay, I like it. I can work with that. Yeah, I'm not wavering. I mean, I'm not like this is a team that was better than us, but like you'll take a 3-point loss. I mean, it sucks. No one wants to lose, but you will. When it's all said and done, you had all these mistakes that happened that added up to a 3-point loss against Michigan, and you got enough positives going forward that like we're 1/3 of the way through the season. You can't let this be the derailing game. This is a learning moment for everybody. We still have one of the youngest teams in the entire Big Ten. They're going to get better. I'm very confident in that.
All right, folks. 2,000 join us for the Sunday evening. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you get some stuff. We're selling some shirts, but everybody hates Nebraska right now after a loss. They're probably not going to buy as many, but HuskGuysStore.com. HuskGuysStore.com. Run the ball. If we die, we die. We got some good stuff on there. Make sure you check it out. As always, go Big Red. Thanks for following. And go Huskers. Enjoy the bye week.